Vice President Tulsi Gabbard, she used to be in the military. This is submitted by QTR's Fringe Finance. If it was not evident going into yesterday that President Joe Biden was going to need to step aside, all doubt should now be out of the way. For his opening act on Thursday, Biden made his way out of bed and to the NATO summit across town, all for the honor of stepping on stage and referring to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, whom U.S. taxpayers have gifted hundreds of billions of dollars at Biden's direction to fight Russia. Biden called Zelensky President Putin. To refer to Zelensky as Putin, and at a NATO event nonetheless, is about as big as an effing as you can possibly make given the world's geopolitical climate right now. This would have been like introducing President George W. Bush throwing out of the first pitch at Yankee Stadium after 9/11 as President Osama bin Laden. And if you were not in stitches after that first set, Biden's return later in the evening for an encore at a much heralded Big Boys press conference he had been scheduled to give in order to show the world, to quote the movie Big Daddy, that he could wipe his own ass. But instead of instilling confidence in the nation, Biden coughed, mumbled, and stumbled his way through about an hour's worth of prepared remarks and softball questions. At one point, he referred to Vice President Kamala Harris as Vice President Trump. Sadly, Biden is slurring his words far more noticeably every day. Even for the skeptics of Biden's, I had to sigh and turn the press conference off before it finished, writing on X last night, "He is cooked. This has to be the end." In other words, even for us conservatives, libertarians, and critics of the Biden administration, it's just getting difficult to watch. Each day, jokes about elder abuse look closer and closer to reality, and the humor of a massive clusterfuck in the Democratic political arena is eroding away by the blossoming realization that it's simply depressing to watch a human being, somebody's son, father, and husband, deteriorate publicly without dignity and surrounded by people too cowardly to do the right thing for him. The gaffes last night quickly shot down while what little chance Biden had of trying to stay in the race, in my opinion, the writer says. I know it's technically up to him, but the powers that be could not have scripted a worse outcome than him calling Zelensky Putin and then calling Harris Trump. Biden's goose is cooked, mark my words, the writer says. This means, as I pointed out days ago, the Democrats are likely going to promote Vice President Kamala Harris to the potential nominee spot, despite her horrific polling in 2020 primaries and the fact that for the most part it appears the country still finds her not likable. And while the Trump campaign has publicly stated that they are happy to sit back and watch the Democrats self-immolate, I also believe they're holding off on announcing their vice president pick until the Democratic nominee is solidified. There's going to be a significant amount of strategy that goes into Trump's vice presidential pick. Pick someone innocuous because you're leading a country on offense. Target minority demographics of the person of color, or pick the best person for the job. Find someone who can be as aggressive as Trump, or settle for someone who knows how to play the role of second fiddle. I played out a number of these scenarios last month. Without trying to answer all of these questions, I'm certain I can answer one. If Kamala Harris winds up as a Democratic nominee, Trump must pick Tulsi Gabbard as his vice president. There is no better option. Not only is Tulsi world famous for having already beat Kamala to a pulp during the 2020 primary debates, but she also is extraordinarily intelligent and well-spoken, and happens to be an active member of the U.S. military and a woman. She did not have to do any favors to make her way in the political world. She has had the courage to stand up to the most terrifying political force, the Clintons, in 2019, accurately calling Hillary the personification of the rot that has sickened the Democratic Party for so long. Additionally, Tulsi held interventionist foreign policy ideas fall in the line with Trump's policy for let's just use some common sense and get these global conflicts settled and stop the killing, regardless of who is deemed the winner. She's made it clear that avoiding World War III is far more important to her than prolonging wars and changing regimes overseas. While Nikki Haley's lobbyists may not like this, it's what's best for the nation. So if you're a Trump strategist, you have to know that Tulsi not only immediately throws a wet blanket over all the independents who would vote for Kamala because she's a woman, but in my opinion would also be a perfect complement for Trump's style. Tulsi could soften Trump's image a bit. She is rife with charming moments, but could also help hold the edge Trump conducts business, especially foreign policy business. And at the end of the day, Tulsi went to boot camp, and let's be honest, could probably, against Kamala Harris's ASS in the fight. But like Trump, I'm sure she'd rather be just emulating peace through strength, and you can say what you want about the strategy, but it kept us out of wars and kept the world at peace for 4 years Trump was in office. It's tough to argue with those results. Aloha, Tulsi. And this is on Zero Hedge by Tyler Durden, written by QTR's Fringe Finance. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.